Here for almost 8 years, September, and I've met your communications person, City Kissimmee, and we've talked to them about all of the wonderful things that they have going on down there, all the marketing and advertising that you're doing, and I also do that for the City of Sanford. So since 2012, we've been marketing Sanford, and then now all of this, 6 years later, 7 years later, we have tried to bring people to a lot of great businesses, breweries, and shops, and so one of the responsibilities that we have is marketing and advertising, and this brochure is a city-produced brochure. You receive some other things too, but this particular one also promotes the Sanford Trolley, which is really big. How else are you going to get here from the Sunrail station? We used to have an Uber pilot program. That kind of phased out, and now we have some other things in the works. But this particular brochure is in the Welcome Centers and Visit Florida Centers off the interstate in the state of Florida. So we're advertising the city pretty heavily, and I love to do that because we have a lot to offer. I also help with the Citizens Academy that Brenda was speaking of, who's also a graduate. It's a great opportunity for citizens to learn about local government, and soon they become an advocate for local government, because a lot of people really don't know what we do each and every day, and it's basically their quality of life that the City of Sanford and municipalities provide. And so it's a wonderful thing. We have 350 graduates already, and we feed them. It's one night a week. They go through each city department. They meet with the fire department, the police department, the finance department. They learn how to make a city budget, or what is involved in that, what's entailed in that. And it's it's been pretty rewarding for us. And several graduates are now volunteers on serving on boards for the City of Sanford. So I just came from a Veterans Appreciation Planning Luncheon that we're going to have with Seminole County at our Civic Center. We have over 350 veterans and guests that will be here in our city. We're a county that's very, very Sanford, or veteran-centric, and we are looking forward to that tomorrow, and so that's why I had contacted the chief about something. So we do a lot of things here in the City of Sanford. We also have a Mayor's Youth Council. Today is their first day for the new council for the next school year. So the city is very much aware of the younger generation and how important they are for the future of our city. So there are 12 high school students that work in coordination with our mayor to determine certain initiatives for the City of Sanford. Today, Bipasha Patel is with me. She's an intern, Seminole County Public Schools, which is a great program for the summer. Rather than on a vacation for the summer, she's with me in our communications office because I am a staff of one. Once in a while, we'll work together. Sonny and I, our paths cross in marketing the City of Sanford, but it's been very rewarding for me. And also, we started a city podcast just recently, and we are now on iTunes, accessible to a lot of folks, and it's called Sanford Says, so you can download that. And the purpose of that podcast was to explain to listeners some of our city services that can be very intricate in detail and not very user-friendly. For example, our water quality report was mailed out to our residents, and we took one look at that because it's state regulated, but there's some things in there that if you didn't take high school chemistry, you're not going to know what you're receiving. So the water resources engineer came on, talked about just how the simple things are, how to read the table, what's bromide, I think, and how many parts per million do they look at water and see what's in there. So it was very, very interesting to me, and we're finding to be very helpful to our citizens. So communications is a new field for municipalities statewide, and I also am on the board of the League of Cities, a new association for municipalities. There's 10 cities representing across the state, depending upon population and location, and it's set up to be an association that helps people like me in the field of communications work together and look to each other for resources, because it's new to market ourselves, the government marketing our cities, and to share information about what the fire chief does behind the scenes, not just in an academy, but also, as you all know, social media is huge. I mean, without social media, a lot of people couldn't survive, and so we are in that game. Municipalities are also marketing themselves using social media, having graphic design people create things for their budgets, all of that kind of stuff. So It's a rewarding opportunity, I must say, and I get to meet wonderful people like yourself, and that's one of the reasons why I enjoy working with the Citizens Academy, because we have 35 citizens come twice a year to go through our academy, and each and every time these folks are just so enthusiastic about learning about local government, because we have kind of a reputation in general government, like people don't trust government, and so this is a way to slowly and surely chip away at that, and because we need our citizens to be aware and be knowledgeable, and that's what my role is. So I work in the city manager's office, and if there's any other questions.
So just to help them understand in terms of scope, help us understand how big the city of Sanford is, what the population or
Okay.
square miles or whatever
We
like that.
have we're almost at 60,000, and we're 25 square miles, I believe, and we're growing rapidly. We just actually had these 2020 census folks come to our commission meeting last night and share what a proclamation and what they are planning to do, and we will be, City Hall will be a site for the training for the enumerators this census year. And so that's very important. We see that to be very important because, of course, as you know, the numbers population-wise determines federal funding. And in Sanford, out of some of the whole county, and I don't know if you can confirm this, Chief, but Sanford has 9 pockets of poverty that are located throughout the most city pockets of poverty in the entire county, which means federal funding is very important for us. And so it's it will add to, of course, the census taking, and the population will probably be growing. I know Sonia Planning puts out a development map. It's an interactive map that's online and on our city website, and it shows you the immense amount of growth that's in Sanford right now. And from what I understand also, just last night at our city commission meeting, David Johnson, our Seminole County property appraiser, presented our stats for 2019, and Sanford has 50-50 commercial and to residential, which is a very, very nice mix. And he sees Sanford on the right path for the future. So we've got a lot of development and a lot of people visiting our city. Not too many cities have a welcome center, by the way. And this is, did you talk about the welcome center being a city building, and that
the organizations in
Yes.
here are subsidized by the city,
Yes.
the Welcome Center as well as the chamber, and
yeah.
we used to have a tourism office in here, but they're going to break off and be the main street.
Yeah.
But getting back to what you were saying, Lisa, just so everybody's aware, right now there's $1 billion worth of development in the pipeline within the city boundaries. 3,000 residential units. So we do have quite a bit of activity.
Yeah.
We had our real estate values increased by about 8.5% over the last year. So
Yeah.
Now, I assume Sanford is the largest city in Seminole County,
Yes.
correct? Okay, yes, so it's the
Yeah.
county seat and the largest
Yes.
city.
Yeah.
So,
And so it's no accident. We're growing by residential units and by visitors. How many? 80,000 people came to the city on the trolley or something like that?
we bring
Right?
about 50,000, but
50,
that's
I'm
just the trolley.
exaggerating.
Yeah, the Amtrak shuttle brings
Right.
another, anywhere from 150 to 200 a week. So it really, and we're not even sure yet how popular the Choo Choo to the Zoo will be. We have had maybe 3 weeks worth of reporting, so we're going to try to continue that. And as I said, we've got a grant out to try to get some additional vehicles to be able to go to the airport, the mall, the hospital. And
yeah, because right now that's kind of a missing link. If you get off at the Sanford train station, you want to go to Orlando, no, what do you call it? What do you call
Orlando
it?
Sanford.
Orlando Sanford International Airport. You need to catch a cab right now.
Right.
And so, and that airport is not, it was funny because it was a long time that hadn't been there. When I went back, it was like, holy cow, it was like, this is the way Orlando International Airport was in like 1990. I mean, it's crazy busy, out there. So a lot of people use it, as well as that office park, that commercial area around the airport that's got all kinds of either aviation or shipping related businesses in there. There are a lot of people who go there. So getting some type of transportation from, at least from the train station
Right.
to there would really
That's
be
the
great.
goal. It's
Yeah.
a goal, as well as the sports complex, because we know that, not everybody wants to drive to a very busy sports event. They'd rather take the train and a trolley. And same thing applies to those events we do here. We have over 220 events annually. So the 4th of July will bring 60,000 people. So what the
Yeah.
trolley does is it allows people to use overflow parking at the mall, at Sunrail, at the county building, so that they don't have to park right in the heart of downtown to be able to enjoy the event. So we hope you will get an opportunity to come back and ride the trolley. The trolley stops are a little bit more than what you saw today. There are 9 stops altogether.
I've included a
Yeah.
schedule in your bags, which I'm ready to hand